continue with our class Kosher Kitchen. We start with Sefer Chofetz Chaim. No big topic is the same, believe in lashon hara. And it says exception to the rule. We have already seen that one may not believe even his spouse or close confidant when they relate negative information about others. At most, they may consider the possibility that information might be true. Okay. So one more time, we have already seen that one may not believe his spouse or even confident they relate negative information about the others. So as we said, it's only one part of the story and they may exaggerate. So at the most we can consider the possibility of the information might be true. Right? So for example, I'm in another situation. Somebody will ask me to make a piece and each side tell me not to talk to another side. It's very interesting. Right? That's very, very interesting. The Talmud and each side make other side look very vicious. The Talmud states that one of the exceptions to this rule is where the listener considers the speaker to be a man of unusual integrity, whose words are weighed very carefully. Such a person can be trusted to relate the incident exactly as it happened, to the extent that the listener can consider him as having witnessed it, and thus may accept the report as a fact. Nevertheless, since the decision that the speaker is trustworthy is a personal one made by a listener, he cannot pass the information to the others as if he had witnessed it, even though even for constructive purpose. Chofetz Chaim is of the opinion that today no one can claim to have degree of integrity necessary for these words to be accepted as a fact, and is therefore forbidden for anyone to believe a negative statement on the basis of someone else's report. Right? So let's just summarize. Right? So there's a Talmud said there are some people that they are such a trustworthy, meaning that they're going to report as the things happen. They're never going to withdraw some information or exaggerate, and you would trust them as you would trust two witnesses in a court. Right? So in this case, of course, it's on one person. So this person, you can believe. Right? That's what Talmud says, but Chofetz Chaim said that today there are no such people. So believe it or not, bez siyata d'shmaya, we start learning in my Igros Moshe class. So it's very interesting case when somebody asked Moshe when he was still back in Russia. Somebody, I think a rabbi from Moscow, right? I think he asked him if what to do in a case where it was in 1934, I think, or 33. So the revolution happened in 1917. So basically we're talking about generation, maybe even before the revolution they were all brainwashed. So we're talking about the generation of old-timers, right, that still were religious back then, before the revolution, before all this craziness, right, and their children that grew up now, right, grew up and have their own families, right, and they are not very observant, or they're not, I apologize, the language is very harsh. They reject the whole Torah, everything, right? So the question is if parents dependent on the children for their daily life, right, for daily living and for their food source, right? Can they trust children? Right? Technically, here we would say no, but very interesting. I mean, we started from the statement of Rabbi Moshe. So he said, if this parent would trust his daughter or daughter-in-law that she would not do this to him, meaning not to give him something not kosher. So it is allowed to eat this food, right? If she went to a market and she brought a piece of meat, I mean, how do you know it's kosher or not, right? So if she said it's kosher, so you can believe her, it is kosher. If she said that I cooked it in your pot, which is kosher, so we're allowed to believe her, right? And we actually use this Gemara, this Chofetz Chaim. It's one of the examples. And Reb Moshe Zatzal, he said very interestingly. So there, it's not like one witness, like Gemara speaking here. He actually explained that to the point that you believe to the point that you actually know that they would not do it to you. So even it's very, very interesting situation. Even though they are not observant, but they so respectful of these elderly people, of the like father-in-law, right? That they would not give them something that is not kosher. Very interesting. I mean, we're still going to go in details, but that's the bottom line. It's very interesting. Okay, so we stop here. Okay. Any questions about what we said? Or we continue? Yeah, go ahead.
Rabbi?
Yes, go ahead.
Next question of the word says, Shalom Kol Harav. When relating second-hand information, do we need to disclose the source of information, or it's enough to say it's second-hand?
That's a very good question. Usually not. If you say it's second-hand, I just heard it from someone. If it would help, you see, when we say it's a second hand, we're trying to impress on people, so don't rely on it 100%. That's the basic idea of the second hand information. So I heard, but it's up to you. I'm just passing to you information, but it's your obligation to verify. I'm not obligated to verify. Some people ask me to. I say, please, I'm not going to do it. Whatever. Some guy sent me a question. It's not. If it's question is practical, I'll try to research it. But if it's like some not practical, I said I don't have time. Ask somebody who has nothing else to do with their life. There are many people who have a lot of time. I don't know, useless or not. They have a lot of time in their life, right? So in this case, yeah. So I would say, look, that's what I heard, but it's up to you to do the research. Okay. What else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. All right. So let's continue. So we're on chapter 9. Almost finish this book. A book meaning it's this book divided in several big sections, which he calls books. Okay. And our topic, avoiding problems while washing dishes, and we went over many scenarios. So now it's some kind of like a summary, and I love to leave off summary. So next class we can start with the summary, what we learned last time. Okay, so it says, when washing dishes, one must be mindful of the following. One must keep separate sponges for meat and dairy, and part of dishes, since the actual food particles are absorbed into the sponges. So that's clear and understandable, right? So, right, to keep separate sponges, 3 sponges. Okay. Okay. Number 2, the steel wool used for dishes on one type should not be used for dishes of the other type, or the part of dishes. I mean, okay, steel wool. I don't know. We had to use steel wool just recently, and I asked my wife, do we have it? I mean, for something like not dish related purposes. She said yes, and I saw the package. it's from 15 years ago. That's like we bought packet, like we never used it, basically. Unbelievable. Right, but I mean, in olden days, I mean, unless you cook something like that, it got stuck to the bottom of the pot or something, like it's olden pot or I don't know, like just reading about steel wool, like in olden days, yeah, we used a lot of steel wool, right, a lot. But today, like for many years, we did not. Maybe because better pots, or we don't eat such a food that it got stuck to the bottom. Okay, it's very interesting. Right, so if you have a steel wool towards the dishes, so you need separate. Okay, a sponge or a steel wool used for one type. When one type was used of utensil of another type, Rav should be consulted. Right, so I guess you have to throw out the steel wool, but you would need to ask, see if you need to kasher the dishes. That's our actually concern. Okay. So next one. One who wears plastic glove while washing dishes should use separate gloves for meat and dairy use. Okay. So I also use gloves, but what I do after I finish washing, I wash the gloves. Right, they just put some soap, like the dishwashing soap, and I wash the gloves very well. That's what I do. Okay. We don't have two pairs. I mean, there is no room to store it. Okay. One should avoid letting meat or dairy food pots touch the hot spout, since they may impair their taste into the spout and affect the hot water as it passes through the spout. Okay, so let's do this. I mean, I think those are new things. I don't remember that we learned before, but okay. I mean, like some of them, maybe he rephrases a little. Okay, so one more time it says, one should avoid letting meat or dairy food touch this hot water spout. The hot water spout, since they may impart hot water spout. I think it's if I understand correctly what he's saying, it's like separate device you have on the side of your sink, right? The water is connected. It's to get like instant hot water. I think that's what they're saying. We don't have this stuff, but some people do. Of course, you're not allowed to use it on Shabbos, but that's a different story. One should avoid letting the meat and dairy foods to touch the hot water spout, since they may impart the taste into the spout, right? And then you would use this hot water, for example, to drink with your coffee, with the milk, or with I don't know, some soup. I don't know, like meat soup. Okay. Found the word. Okay, since it can impart the taste. Continue. Next one. When washing large pots, one should avoid letting them touch the sink sides or the hot water spout. Okay, so large pots. I mean, if you have designated sink for like meat and dairy, there is no such a problem. And if you're using one sink, as they advise, of course, you should try not to, so it would not touch the sides, and plus it would not sit on the bottom, right? So you would have some things. I don't know what would it go, like not a net, like some razor, some other like some like platform, which you put it. Okay, so let's go the summary to section B. Okay, so we finished section B. A second. Yeah, section B. So that's actually summary. So it says use of the one sink for meat and dairy dishes. So as we said before, it is possible. I mean, just personally, people have to be very like cognizant of what is going on, right? So because it's prone like to many mistakes. So if you have one thing, so make sure people who are not very careful, they like I know people like this. He looks this way and he goes this way, look that way, and bumps into everything. Like some people do not have pay attention. So for these people, it's forbidden to have one thing. It's not there is not probabilities that it's like a probability is 100%. They're going to mess up in a day one. Forget about in a month, in day one, right? But if it's possible, to keep it kosher. They use one sink for meat and dairy dishes. Number one, ideally one should install two kitchen sinks, one for meat and one for dairy use. Okay, so let's right, and one must use one sink. One who must use one sink for both meat and dairy should follow one of the following options. So again, the best type is one is one side, another is another side. I mean, if you're doing a renovation, you bought your apartment or your house, I think it's possible. Maybe it costs you a little money. No, not little, but because like in my mind, like when you install like two sinks, like adjusted, there is no problem whatsoever. You have one drain, you have all of the pipes, like hot water pipes, like hot water, cold water. It's easy. I mean, you just replace. You're just making the hole bigger. But if you want like second one, so you have to like extend the drain, so you have to open the wall. So it's not so simple. It's not simple at all, right? And then connect the pipes. I mean, pipes in my mind is easier than the drain. Drain would be harder, I think. Okay. Okay, of course it's doable, but okay, but this double sink is a easier solution, and if you don't have such options, so you do with one sink. So it says, dishes and cutlery should never be placed on a sink itself, into the sink itself. Instead, they should be washed while held in one's hands. So that's a first solution, and I would say maybe it's the best solution. The most like if you, like the way I see it, right? If you adopt this solution, so for sure you're never going to make a mistake, right? If you say I'm never going to put anything on the bottom of the sink, is it convenient? I don't know, but for sure it's safe. Next one, both so next solution, I guess. Both types of dishes may be washed in a sink if they do not come into contact with the sink or the water collected in a sink. Poskim advise two procedures by which it can be accomplished. So, okay, before we continue, so again, both types can be washed in one sink, but make sure that they do not touch the wall or the bottom. Of course, that make sure that your sink is not clogged, so the water is not going to raise from the bottom. Okay, so two procedures. I guess that's the first procedure. The dishes should be washed only in a basin inserted into the sink. One for the meat and one for one for meat dishes, one for dairy, and one for parve. So you have this three basins, right? And you put basin on the bottom of the sink. Meaning for sure your plates or whatever you wash cutlery, it does not touch the walls or the bottom of the sink. So that's a very good solution, right? Okay. So, and you should have three separate basins. Continue. The basin should be placed on a rack or a board. So I think board is going to clog the sink, but rack is the best, like metal rack. The sink should be thoroughly washed between the meat and dairy use. Okay. In addition, the drain should be kept free of blockage. Okay, so again, they say if you want to do that, you want to use one sink, you put inside of the sink this basin, this plastic basin, right? And even this you don't put on the bottom of the sink. You put it on some kind of rack. So that's I mean, so far it's very cheap solution. I would say. I mean, you don't have to invest much to keep this solution, which is good, right? And that's it, right? And plus, and you have to wash the sink after each use. Okay, no problem. I don't think it's a big deal. Okay. Continue. And another one, a more lenient method. One may wash the dishes on a rack placed on a sink bottom to keep the dishes suspended above the water level. One should prevent sink water from rising and touching dishes. So this is more like easy thing to do, right? Just keep a rack on the bottom of the sink, but they have a sink rack like regular, right? But it's only prevent the dishes that touches the ground, but it's very thin. That's not what they're talking about. I mean, because the level, like you just open the water a little more, it would raise the level of the water to like that it's going to touch the bottom of our dishes. That's not what they're talking about. Like in my mind, when they're talking Iraq, I imagine you know what this what is it called? I forgot what's the name. Like things that you would put your hot pot on. Right, when you take hot pot from the stove and you put on some rest, like pot rest. I mean, there is a special name, it just escapes me, but there is a pot rest, right? So it has legs, I don't know, like 1/4 inch or something like high. That's how I imagine this rack, but not the regular one that they sell for the things that you put on the bottom. That's not good for sure. Okay. So we finished with ideally one should install two sinks. One who uses one sink. Okay, so that's what we covered with two different options. Okay. And number two, adjusted sinks, even if constructed one sheet of metal, are permitted. So meaning that they just bend. I think. I look at after we finished last time. Yeah, it's from one piece. Okay, so that's what it is. But we understand one piece means that if this one get hotter, another will also get hotter. Okay. Adjacent sinks, even if constructed one sheet of metal, are permitted. However, one must prevent water and the food particles from splashing from one sink into the other. And it's actually in our sink, it is an issue. I mean, that we're trying to avoid, but we have to be very, very careful. The daily sink by us, it's small. It's not tiny, but it's small. So you cannot open like water too much, like right? You open just a little. Right, so it would be not a strong stream because it's going to splash. So I mean, after like you use it a few times, you learn the thing. Okay. Number three, but you have to be like careful not to do it. I know some families, so they would not let the guy into the kitchen because like every time he would mess up. I mean, poor woman on one hand. On the other hand, she knows that his part is not on the kitchen. He can eat like in a dining room, but not in the kitchen because person mess up, and she always goes like the strictest opinion. I don't know. Sometimes it's too strict, as I said, but okay. They want to be very machmer, and the guy's suffering. Right, because he's nice person, but does not pay attention to this detail. For him, it's irrelevant things, but for us, it's kosher, right? Number 3. So we said adjacent sink, no problem, but have to be careful so it would not splash. Okay. Number 3. If two sinks share common drain line with one trap, the trap should be kept clean to prevent the water from rising from one sink into another. I mean, as I explained last time, I don't know how is it possible to have two traps. I mean, everything is possible, but it's I never heard the two traps. Maybe some commercial ones, like in a restaurant, maybe they would have, but normally it's only one trap. Okay. For those who does not know what trap is, like this like a U, right? The trap is where all of this residue stays, right? Okay. Number 4, one must keep separate sponges and steel wool and gloves for the washing meat, dairy, and part of dishes. In addition, one should not avoid letting meat or dairy pots touch the hot water spout. Okay. So as we said about sponges, steel wool, gloves, washing meat and dairy, right? Everything. Okay. Okay. Any questions on what you said? We finished that part. Review. Okay. Oh yeah. A question? Okay. Go ahead.
This question the board says, given rubber does not absorb taste, can one use rubber gloves for both meat and dairy?
No, that's actually what we're talking about, rubber gloves. So it's preferable. So okay, so I'm going to tell you a preferable way is, as he said, that keep 3 different pairs for meat, dairy, and parv. But what I do, I have only one. So, but I wash it like with the soap, like while you're in the gloves, you just put the dish soap and you wash it very good, and that's it. And then plus, I guess I don't wash dishes every day, so that also helps. Right, the day spoils. Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, if we rather use our bare hands, there would not be any problem between.
No. Bare hands still you have to wash your hands. So I mean, if you wash one after another. You understand? So for example, I mean, we wash daily dishes. We don't have much. We wash only maybe a few times a week. Maybe every 2 or 3 days. That's it. Maybe twice or 3 times a week. That depends on the week. That's it. Right, but others we wash like almost every day. I would say every day. Okay. So Friday is when I wash the daily dishes. It's very interesting. Friday morning is the day. Okay, continue. Section C. Use of dishwasher for meat and dairy dishes. Okay, so this question was asked before. Let's see. Use a dishwasher for meat and dairy dishes. Prevents problem. Use dishwasher prevents... presents problem similar to those involved in washing dishes in the same sink. Therefore, common custom is not to use one dishwasher for both meat and dairy dishes. Okay, before we continue, it says those who find difficult should consult their Rav. There is one commentary. But let's finish maybe, and then we go back to commentary. So it says use of meat and dairy dishwasher for part of dishes. Number 1, right? So meat and dairy for part of dishes. Scrupulous individual would avoid using meat or dairy dishwasher for even part of utensils. One who wishes to wash part of dishes in either meat or dairy dishwashers should consult Rav. Koshering the treif dishwasher. Poskim assume the treif dishwasher cannot be koshered. So, this question was asked, we said it. Right? However, one who faces substantial financial loss should consult Rav. 34, let's see the commentary. The reason given is that the walls of dishwasher are made of porcelain, which cannot be koshered. It would follow that dishwasher with the metal sides can be koshered. One should consult Rav. I'm not sure, it's not only the sides, it's also inserts. If a person can order the insert, the dish racks, right, all other things, new from a company, maybe in this case it would be allowed if he has these things made of metal. But I would say how much is dishwasher? It's I don't think it costs that much money that it would worth it to order spare parts. Usually these parts cost so much, right? So we had the issue with our dryer. So I was researching. I think I said, but I think I was researching. I could not find. I check everything. I have electric tester. I learned a thing or two about the dryers. I check all of the parts that they say. All of the parts is good. So meaning that there is some issue that I know very rare. So and I understood, I check how much they would charge to come and check, right? And how much if it's two parts. So I figure, so if we and it could be 60 or from 60 to 70% of a new on a new dryer. It's abnormal, few parts, plus he would say for work. So it's almost it was worth it for us to buy a new dryer. It's unbelievable. Right? Of course, he knows how to fix it. He can fix, but I was not able to. So same with dishwasher. So it's better to buy a new one. Okay, continue. And there was one commentary. So it says, therefore, a common custom not to use one dishwasher for both meat and dairy dishes. Commentary. See, however, Igras Moshe, Yorok Deya 2:22, volume 2, 28 and 29 and 3:10, who rules that one who uses two sets of dishes, two sets of dish racks, may use one dishwasher for both meat and dairy. Presumably, he requires separate cutlery holders as well. He advises that one run empty cycle between meat and dairy to kosher the washer. Incidentally, Igras Moshe makes no mention of serious problem or filtration system found in the most dishwashers. I'm not sure what filtration system. Here we go. Which retains food residue from previous washes. In addition, food particles remain in the ones that spray the water. And they're made of rubber, I think. Hot water on the dishes. Although one may argue that the taste of the food remain is ruined by the detergent, there is a conflicting opinions on this matter. This may be one of the reasons that Igras Moshe's lenient opinion is not usually followed. Okay, so there is opinion, but the food is everywhere. Right on the sides, on these spraying things. Okay. Any questions on what we said? Okay, so book number 4, food prepared by a non-Jew. When we start, so it says in introduction, chapter 10, prohibition of pas akum. Chapter 11, prohibition of bishul akum. So it's non-Jewish bread, bishul, cooking, right? Prohibition halaf akum, meaning milk of non-Jew. And chapter 13, prohibition of givinas akum. Okay, so let's start. Introduction to the book number 4. Okay, the rabbinic prohibition of against eating foods prepared by non-Jews. So we spoke several times about people ask questions, but now it's all put in one place, which is good. Where else we spoke? In our Wednesday's class, right? In what is it? In laws of Yom Tov. But as I said there, it's it's only highlights, and technically, I mean, if you don't those highlights enough unless you face abnormal situation. Okay, so let's see. That's the subject of this book. Thus far, the subject of this book has been biblically prohibited foods and rabbinically prohibited foods. Right? So we're talking about food. There are two types of rabbinically prohibited foods: those that are forbidden as an extension to a biblical prohibition, and those are prohibited by Chazal, even though they are not directly connected to the biblical prohibition. Okay. The following 4 chapters, 10 through 13, discuss prohibition of foods prepared by the non-Jew. This includes those prohibitions with biblical basis, such as halaf akum, milk produced without Jewish supervision, and genivas akum, cheese produced by a non-Jew. We will examine other prohibitions that are completely rabbinic in innovation, such as pas akum, bread baked by a non-Jew, and bishul akum, foods cooked by a non-Jew. Okay, so let me just quickly check time. Sorry. Okay, so we have enough time. So let's do this piece again, and we're going to explain. So we have before we start, we have a good foundation. So again, right? So far, thus far, the subjects of the books were biblically prohibited foods and rabbinically prohibited foods. Okay, so far so good. All of this meat and milk and other foods, right? And all of the non-kosher foods and others, right? There are 2 types of biblically prohibited foods, rabbinically prohibited foods. Those of forbidden extension of biblical prohibitions, and those prohibited by Chazal, even though they are not directly connected to biblical prohibition. So first type of rabbinically prohibited, the extension of the biblical prohibition. So I would say maybe the best example would be poultry, right? So we're not even though poultry is not meat, but I would say we should treat it as meat. So this would be, in my mind, extension of the biblical prohibition, right? And the second one that our Chazal established that have no connection with biblical prohibition. So no connection, as we're going to see. The following chapters discuss prohibition foods prepared by non-Jew, right? So as we said before, the big issue, the big topic is because our sages were trying to prevent intermarriage. So because how people get intermarried, they sit together, eat together, drink together, right? And if the food is not kosher, so basically there is no no intermarriage. Well, at least it's not no intermarriage. They still can intermarry, but it's reduced significantly. This includes those prohibitions with biblical basis, such as halaf akum. So halaf akum is a milk produced by a non-Jew without Jewish supervision. So what is the problem? So the problem is, why is it biblical? Why is it biblical? They possibly violate the biblical prohibition. So possibly this non-Jew can mix in some non-kosher milk from a donkey or something, from a horse, from a camel, right? So that's why it's biblical, because it's biblically forbidden foods. Okay, so this halaf akum is in this category. Of course, today most likely they're not going to do it, but in olden days it was very common through the non-Jews. So as I said, I think I said before, I have one student. Somehow he has not joined for some time. I don't know. I hope he's okay. So he lives in one of these countries, right? And where there's very prevalent this camel milk. Right? And it's produced commercially. So he asked me if he could drink camel milk. So he was like, it's readily available in a store. I never seen like a camel milk in the store. It's not like I'm checking the milk, but maybe in some top-end non-kosher stores they do sell this milk. But he said it's almost the price of the cow milk. I'm not sure how is it possible, but that's what he said. Okay, doesn't matter. So he said, of course, it's not allowed. Okay, but so just thinking about it, so in that country, for sure they can mix it. I mean, we have to be very, very careful, right? So Halachah akum is one, and next one. So we have a biblical basis, and next one givnivas akum, cheese produced by a non-Jews. So as we know, many cheeses they produce from the exine from the stomach of the animal, right? So if it was kosher slaughtered, there is no problem. Right, right, but if it was not slaughtered kosher, it's not slaughtered according to Halachah, so if it's for us it's nivila, right? It's a dead animal, right? So we're not allowed to eat it. So that's the problem with gneva sakum. Continue. We will also examine other prohibitions that are completely rabbinic innovations. So meaning, as we said, the rabbis as such a pas akum. So right, bread baked by non-Jew. Again, to separate between Jews and non-Jews. And bishul akum. So bishul akum, as we explained some time ago, it's food that is cooked by a non-Jew. So why? Because we're afraid that something is going to happen. Right? Maybe they would put some non-kosher ingredients, or people become very, very close. Okay. So of course, under like Jewish supervision, there is no problem, right? And we suspect on the issue, even if they are on our territory, on our kitchen, they use only our implements, like all the pots, all of the ingredients, everything is kosher. Still, there is this food is not allowed unless there are some conditions. Continue. There are food items that Chazal prohibited, even though there is no biblical basis for this prohibition. Nevertheless, Chazal prohibited these foods in order to prevent Jews from mingling with the non-Jews socially. Here we go. And so they will not come into intermarry them. Rambam Hilchas Machalos Asoros 17:9. So Machalos is Asoros, it's laws of forbidden foods. So in this section they have all of the forbidden foods, right? Non-kosher foods and non-kosher fowl, and how to identify the kosher fowl, like birds. So it's very interesting, right? It's like there are 5, I think, signs to identify kosher birds. It's not, right? It's very interesting. Continue. It is clear from these words that Rambam is the sole purpose. That the sole purpose of a new food prohibition category is to prevent intermarriage with non-Jews, which is big, as we know, big disaster in all this. Okay, 1 second. Should we start new section? It's very long. Not sure what to do. 1 second. It's very, very long. We're not going to finish. Just 1 second. Let me quickly look. Actually, it's only like an introduction. So okay, so it's no, there are no technical details. So let's see quickly. So next topic is a relationship between the Jews and non-Jews. In the Torah, the Torah quotes Bilam saying, "It, meaning the Israel, is a nation that dwells in solitude, and not be reckoned among the nations. Israel is a nation alone and does not intermingle with other nations. Why is it necessary that we be a nation alone? Why and why have we, throughout our history, always been outsider and a foreigner?" So that's very good actually for us to be outsider and foreigner, and it would prevent intermarriage. The role of Klal Yisrael. The Jewish perspective regarding the other nations' religions is unique. We do not believe that the other nations who do not follow our religion, have any purpose in general scheme of creation. Most other religions believe that those who do not share their belief are denied salvation and may be considered infidels whose lives have a little of no value, souls that are doomed, or at the best, souls that can never achieve eternity. We do not share this attitude. We believe that all mankind, Jews and non-Jews, have created B'Tselem Elohim, in the image of God. Okay, and deserve respect. We are forbidden to steal from non-Jews, to cheat them, or mistakenly mislead them in any way, even if our action caused them to no loss or harm. Right, as the example as we give in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. You see how it's all comes together. So we said that in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch on Tuesday, we said that you're not allowed to sell meat to a non-Jew who's can eat non-kosher meat, like nevela, like that, or the dead animal, and tell him that it's kosher, even if you don't overcharge them. You give him discount price, he's very happy. So he's very happy, but say, look, is that this meat is not kosher, but for you there is no problem, right? Chazal teach us that a non-Jew can have share in the world in Olam Haba if they adhere to 7 Noachide laws. However, we also believe that Klal Yisrael is Haniv Har, right, the chosen people, and as such, we must undertake the unique role of Klal Yisrael. Okay, I think let's review this part because it's a lot of information. Many things from these topics we discussed before, but let's put it all together. Okay, the Jewish perspective regarding other nation religions is unique. So basically, we don't tell anybody what to do. So, right, I mean, if they come to us, we tell them, like they say, like, well, what should I do? What is my role in life? Yeah, we will explain. But otherwise, we don't missionize. So continue. We do not believe that other nations who do not follow our religion have no purpose in the general scheme of creation. So actually, it says that like everybody have their role in the scheme of creation. Maybe they did not follow their role, meaning that if they, not maybe for sure, if they worship different gods or different religions that are actually forbidden to them, that's a different story. But they have their purpose, right? I mean, most other, meaning that HaShem does not create anybody in vain. If HaShem created a person or a bug or a mosquito, it was some purpose. He knows, or one blade of grass. That's only he knows, right? So all of this creation not purposeless. Most other religions believe that those who do not share their belief are denied in salvation and may be considered infidels. Right, so and we see this. I see it from commentary. They say, "Accept Yoshke, that's your salvation," and others say, "You accept Muhammad," and others say, "I don't know what I say." Like you're all crazy, like you believe in God in such a modern society. So all of these people, right? So they look at us like we are crazy. Okay, so and meaning not only crazy, but considered infidels. So Christian Muslims, they see as infidels, whose lives have a little or no value, meaning to kill a Jew, there is no problem. That's unfortunately. That was for a very long time. Souls that are doomed, or at best souls that can never achieve authority. So that souls that are doomed, or or never have a alam abba, or whatever they call it, because we believe in HaShem, right, in Torah. We do not share the same attitude. So basically, what we ask them, just leave us alone, right? We're not taking from you, right? Leave us alone, right? We believe that all mankind, Jews and non-Jews, have created in the image of God. So from outside, inside, no, right? Soul-wise, no. It's a big difference, right? It's like a battle in the ocean. That's how the difference soul-wise, but from outside, yeah. B'Tselem Elokim, right? And deserve respect, right? So deserve respect, absolutely. We're forbidden to steal from a non-Jews, and we have several clips. Jewish businessmen, yeah, not allowed to cheat a non-Jew, right? And even if it's even worse than a Jews cheat a non-Jew, it's a Hil HaShem, right? A person who does Hil HaShem goes to 7th level Gehinnom, never returns, right? Not a good idea. Right? Steal from not allowed to steal from a non-Jew, cheat him, or mislead him in any way, even if one action cause him no loss. Right? Mislead, as we said, sell him non-kosher meat as kosher meat, or tell him, I don't know, mislead in general, as we learned on Tuesday. It was a very interesting class. As we said, you're not allowed to extend the invitation if you know that that person is not going to come. So he's taking his sick mother or whatever, right? Taking care. So he's not going to come. So why you invite him, right? Unless you're very open and you say, you know what, as I said last time, this example that I gave about my family. So we wanted this person on the funeral so much, so they say, okay, we're going to pay you. We're going to pay you. Just come because you were so close to this to my great uncle. So I save all of the expense. So this person was very, very honest. So he did not take anything. He actually took a bus, so also for a taxi, but he gave him money anyway because he was such a nice person, right? Very interesting. So, but if you're not sincere, if you're not ready, to compensate the person and do some extra, so don't invite him because it's all scam. Chazal teach us that non-Jews can have a share in Olam Haba if they adhere to 7 Nochait laws, right? So non-Jews can have a share in the world to come. It's not comparable to the Jews, but on the other hand, they did not do much, 7 laws. Of course, it's not so easy, but not comparable to the Jews. Okay. However, we also believe that Klal Yisrael is Am Hanivchar, right? So what does it mean? The chosen people, right? Right? We do not only believe, we know. And such is we must understand the unique role of Klal Yisrael. So it's not to be like everyone, right? And that's the problem with people. They want to be like everyone. The problem with Israelis, they like Europe so much they want to be like Europeans, right? That's the problem. We're not Europeans. We're never going to be Europeans, and we have nothing to do with them. Okay, I think we can stop here. Okay. Any questions on what you said? Anti-Semitism. So this Rabbi has a very long introduction to this. Why it's it's very interesting. So he has the very long introduction. I just look forward to explain why our sages instituted these laws. So it's not like dry laws. They his laws, live by them. Very interesting. Okay. So tell me, any questions?
Rabbi?
Yes.
There are some questions on the board, but are related to this topic.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm listening. Go ahead. Listen.
Okay. So this one's about lashon hara. It says Kolab. Is it considered lashon hara by when recommending one things, services, or products? You happen to cause the person to disregard another service or product. For example, someone asks which grocery store has the best price products.
Mm-hmm.
In turn, the other person would assume the other are expensive.
So okay, so the question is if they ask me where is better to buy the products, is it lashon hara? Is it the question, the bottom line, or no?
I would say, depending on our answer, but I think that would
Okay, so I mean, if a person asks me for example where to buy I don't know, something like I don't know, chicken, for example, kosher chicken. So I would tell them where to buy, where we buy, better quality and maybe in cheaper prices. Okay, so if a person wants to go there, so he will go there because it is true. Why he should overpay, right? Because you see, in all the days in Shulchan Aruch, it says clearly, Jew is not allowed to overcharge more than 1/6. 1/6 is like 16-17%, right? But if you look at the prices, people overcharge, I don't know, 30%, sometimes more than that, for sure. But today's the situation is different because in olden days you live in a town, so they all have the same brand, like all stores were on one street, or like a marketplace, like plus minus the same brand. There is no insurance, no this, no that, no heating or something. Like today, they have to pay all of these things, extra things. So he would say, yeah, your rent is this much, and my rent is this much. You have a tiny store. You work with your wife and your kids. It's very good, but I have 15 employees, so I have to pay salary. I have to pay medical insurance. So like to calculate is it 16% or not? It's mission impossible. You understand? But if you want to save another Jew money, so of course you can say, yeah, there is cheaper. There's no problem. Right? So you don't say that place is expensive, this and that. So you say, I shop in this place. Why? It's a better quality, less people, more register open, so you can pay quicker and get out. So, right. Which is good. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. So that's actually, I just want to mention, there's a place, Jewish supermarket. They have so many register, like probably I never went to supermarket on Thursday, never ever, or Friday, needless to say, but like it's very hectic. So very hectic. So they have like many like many cash register. So people can live quickly. You understand? So like if you go in non-Jewish supermarket, non-Jewish store, they would have like half of the amount of this register. It's very interesting. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So a friend added like two other stances for this question, but I would like I've already covered these. Friend says, second stance, what about explicitly stating this one is more expensive than this one?
Mm-hmm. I was done again. You see, when you say expensive, right? People you like here is negative. But as I said, it's not. Maybe it's negative, maybe not. Maybe they just replace the roof. Maybe they replace air conditioner system. They just pay, I don't know, $50,000 like for like roof. I don't know, like a lot of money. So they have to make some kind of profit, right? They cannot work for free, right? But they need roof. So okay, that's understandable. So the price is a little higher, but people use it, they see it as negative. So you can always deviate and say, I don't know about that. So even if you know, but I prefer to buy it there because I think the price is there cheaper. But you can check yourself. Like don't say the negativity, right? I like this store. As I said, you come this time, that time, and not too many people. But for example, next to me is one store, fruit store, and it's cheaper than all of the fruit store around. But the quality is not so much, like they're not bad. So I mean, if people are poor and right, they would shop there. If you buy like for one day, so for one day, for 2 days, it's going to last. But for example, we go and we shop like we buy like a few times a week. So I mean, we don't have time, or sometimes it's one time a week in fruit waste. If we buy like lower quality, they're going to spoil. You understand? So it depends. So if you want to pay a little less, so you go to that store. If you want a better quality, so you go pay a little more. But it's for me, it's worth it to pay more money for better quality than this cheap one. Even though this cheap one is closer to me. Right. Okay. What else?
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question, Shalom Kolov. Is the prohibition of not telling anybody what to do, or does the prohibition of not telling anybody what to do include Mussar, for example, modesty and morality? Thank you very much, Rabbi.
There's no such a prohibition not tell anybody what to do. I'm not sure why there's such a statement. We don't have such a prohibition. Like opposite is true. We're obligated to save our brothers from sin. So meaning what we have to tell them what to do. If we see that somebody is sinning, and let's say a person is sinning because of lack of knowledge, right? A person was never brought up this way, or they do not know that this is actually prohibition, not only suggestion. So we must tell them. Right. The only situation that I can remember from the top of my head that you're not allowed to not allowed to tell them what to do if you know that he's wicked or she's wicked, very bad person, and if you tell them they're going to do exactly opposite, right? And it's a rabbinic mitzvah. So in this case, you're not allowed to tell them what to do. But otherwise, yeah, we're all obligated to strengthen our brothers and sisters, absolutely. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Friends, clarifying, it says, because the law mentioned that Jews should not proselytize.
No. I mean, to other nations. To other nations. I mean, I apologize. Maybe I was not clear. I apologize. So, meaning to other nations, right? So I'm not going to go to Christian church, right? And tell them, you all idol worshippers, stop. Yoshka is that. Yoshka is this. Of course, I'm not going to do that, right? To the Muslims, or have these conversations, debates. You know how many people ask me for debate? I'm not debater. I don't know their religion so much. I know that it's garbage. There are a lot of garbage on the street. I'm going to open all of the garbage back and see what is inside. Let them have the garbage, right? So, okay. So right. So that's the thing. So that's what I meant. So we don't tell anybody what to do, but they all tell us what to. I read it. You must read Quran. You must read this. Whatever, some their books. Okay. Go ahead. So that's what the meaning is. I apologize if I misled anybody. So, but our Jewish brothers and sisters, we're obligated to tell what to do because most of them simply do not know. But other nations, There's no such obligation, and plus we have a very bad experience. They were killing us left and right without telling what to do. We were mind our own business in our shtetls, like separate like ghettos in all of these towns, like not even in the main towns, and they still kill us for no reason. So if we would tell them the church is garbage, in that time, so we would kill everybody. So we kept quiet, very quiet, heads down, right? In this Muslim country, it was not allowed for a Jew to ride a horse, right? Why? Because Jew is not allowed to be higher than the Muslim. Yeah, doesn't matter. You read Jew, doesn't matter. You're not allowed to ride a horse. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Our friend says, yes, I meant Mussar to non-Jews.
Yeah. To them, no. Just leave them alone.
What about a Jew telling a Noahide what to do?
If they ask. So we had several videos about on our channel about the Noahides community, and we posted Rabbi Reuven class that he said that it's actually like new religion, whatever they created, and somebody, this Noahides, they're so proficient. I'm not sure from where, but they know Hebrew, and they send me this book in Hebrew, and they actually underline correct lines of this. And basically, there is some rabbis have I don't know. I'm not sure why they're not interested in Torah, but they went and created all of the teaching from all of the sages. Of course, it's like when I read what they said, and only for a few points. I have my chavrusa. I'd ask him. He's great Talmid Chacham, the most humble person I ever met in my life. Right? That's have a very big I have whom to learn from. To be humble, that's one of my chavrusas, right? And he's descended from Ksam Sefer, the greatest of the great, right? So and I asked him, so he has all of the books, or many books. So he went and we researched only one statement from I think it's a book called Bris Olam. I think it's like famous Noahide books. I think at least, right? And he gives the points, 1, 2, 3 points, and then he brings all the points, and then he draws conclusion. And I was like taken aback, like, you serious? After whatever you said, you draw this conclusion. We went and checked on only 2 points, whatever he said, and what he said. Not everything was corresponded to exactly the same page, but we were able to find plus minus in some cases. In some cases, he was very precise, copying the words, and everything was good. But he did not copy everything. That it was like many things, whatever was taken out of context. So according to him, right, Jews, non-Jews can observe Shabbos, and actually, if they do it as a mitzvah, they're going to get rewarded. That's basically his conclusion. So when I read this, I said it's unbelievable. You understand? So we went to this research, and we saw like this guy. I'm not sure what was in his mind, but he's a simple manipulator. But unfortunately, he got a big rabbi signed on his book, and we translated what he said, what this rabbi said. I mean, top rabbis, Rabbi Lau, the Ashkenazi rabbi, and Rav Yitzchak Yosef, right, top Sephardic rabbi. So, but they said it's clearly, so for this, they do not know like how Torah works. So this rabbi says clearly, so I did not look through the book, but this topic is very important. And this Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef, he actually gave his point, like which would contradict many things of what this guy said. Of course, these great rabbis, they don't have time to read the books from the beginning to the end, and that's what they said. So they said it's very important topic, and Baruch Hashem, this person took his time and did all of the research, but consult your local Orthodox rabbi, basically. You understand about this? But we found this book is flawed. Like on this Shabbos thing, he takes it out of context, like one somebody, even some software said something, right? But it was in a different, implying something different. And he said as a statement, like cut, right, paste, and he said, yeah, non-Jews can observe Shabbos. So basically, that's what they have, and they created separate religion basically. They have their own siddur, all in prayers. So it's like, as Rabbi Reuven Shlita put it, Judaism light. Like whatever they want, they obligate, they do, right? It's scary. It's very, very scary what people can do when they don't have guidance. Like they do not have somebody God-fearing person. So if these people come to me, the first night I tell them, like I said, and then they say, we're going to keep Shabbos. Okay, you're going to keep Shabbos. You're going to hell. I mean, like what I'm benefit from you, like keeping or not keeping. I told you the truth, and then you do what you want to do. Right? You want to rely on this rabbi who nobody ever heard about it, right? That he wrote this book. Okay, so Rambam is against, but he's for. Okay, forget about everything else that was said. Rambam said no, that not just who keeps Shabbos is a thief. He's going to gain no. And this Shmendrik from a year 2000, he said yes. Okay, I don't know who you going to believe. Okay, so that's the thing. If they come and we have some no-hides on our channel, and they're nice people, some of them nice people, respectful, they learn, no problem. Right? From different countries, yes, they contact me, I help them, no problem.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Okay, next question. Golab, what does it mean that the Torah has 70 faces, and why is it so commonly misinterpreted to support ideas antithetical to the Torah?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. I have a clip about it. Malicious clip. So 70 faces of the Torah. If you imagine diamond, so I saw that diamond only on the pictures, but only by the pictures you can imagine how it looks. Like let's say big, right, flawless, and it has all of the sides. Like so, all of the sides. If you look from this side, from that side, from turn this way or that way, so you would see that this diamond they shine. That depends on a light and from what side you're looking. So they shine differently. So that's this side. If you look at from different side, the whole diamond looks a little different. So that's 70 facets of the Torah. Facets is like one side, right? But it's not side like this facet, right? So meaning the core is exactly the same, but you're looking from this to this into the same core from different sides. So meaning the main principles never change, never ever change. So if it says that there is 13th principle that Torah is going to be forever, right? Is unchanged. So the clown comes and said with a big white beard, and he said, in this generation the Torah is not applicable. So that's too much, right? But because we're very weak people, and we are weak people, and nobody denied. But he would say that Torah is not applicable. You understand? It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. So that's not a facet. That's a facet of something else, but it has nothing to do with the Torah. Right, so whatever these ideas they bring from different perspective, but it does not deny the core. Right, if somebody said the punishment is not applicable today because we all tinok hanishbu, right? We all capture baby. It's not true, right? So even though it says in that I believe, right, one of the 13 principles of Judaism by Rambam, it says that I believe that HaShem is going to reward the worthy people of worthy reward and punish who is destined to be punished, like according to his Torah. And Shulchan Aruch it says clearly, who is going to be punished, who is going to be rewarded. So when person says, no, everybody tzaddik, everybody is going to have the lama ba, so he denies this principle. So it has nothing to do with the facets of the Torah, right? Right. So facets meaning 70 different angles. But if, for example, if we have our own angle, so if it contradicts, like so, it's from the other side, from Sitra Achra, basically. So core must be the same, but the different like in the like view on the same on the same sign. I will give you example. If you take one verse, for example, one verse, and in article they're very good in compilation, different commentaries. So on one verse, he would provide like of course they limited like 6 or 7 of different commentaries from different rabbis, and they look at the same verse and they explain the different part of the verse, different idea. So, and this idea have nothing to do with one another, but they on the same verse, like they do not contradict. Right? They just add. They look from different sides. That's what 70 facets of the Torah means. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Question about washing dishes.
Mm-hmm.
Why are potted dishes washed separately? General, at a meal with meat, potted food is placed on the same dinner plate. For example, on the plate is chicken, rice, and vegetable. Are you putting each item on a separate plate? Are you changing forks? Thank you.
No, you're in this case. If you that's your dinner, there is no problem. You just have one plate, meat plate, and everything is good. So we're talking about when you have pot of plates. Why do you have pot of plates? For example, you want to eat what do you want to eat? You want to eat fruits or something, right? So, but after fruit, you did not decide what I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat milk, or I'm going to eat dairy, like something like that. So in this case, so if now I'm going to start washing my pot of plates, right, with the meat plates, it is a hot water, which is Yatzel as boss, most likely, and this meat plates have they're solid, they have some residue, so this and it's hot, right? The water is hot, it's going to go in my pot of plates, right? So I mean, it's proper to have them separate, right? Parf and meat separate, yes.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, if we we're going to eat a meal cold, say for example, we take a piece of chicken and put it cold into a meat plate, and then we take the rice and put it on the same plate, but both things are cold.
I'm sorry. After the meat, I got the cold chicken, and then you do what? Say it again.
We put some rice.
Rice. Okay. On
the same plate.
Same plate. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
And the whole thing is cold. So, is this rice still considered as if it was meat, even if you didn't touch the chicken? If both things were cold?
No, the rice in this case is considered to be paref, but the question, why you asking what are you trying to do with rice afterwards? So it would not be proper to put in, let's say, for example, in a pot of storage container.
Meaning to put it back on the potted pot, would it be forbidden?
I would say yes. Don't do it. Yes.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Okay. So, question. Question regarding following the ways of the goyim.
Mm-hmm.
If one likes products from certain culture, for example, sushi, Moroccan tea, Persian carpets, etc., does it count as following the ways of the goyim? What about decorations or ornaments? For example, building one's garden into Japanese style, having Victorian style jewelries, etc.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the first ones that is sushi and tea, and it's not following the ways of the game. You just eat food. So the following the ways, it's like eat not you see, it's behave in their style, like look like them, right? To make like to make a haircut like them, to wear clothes like them, right? They all wear like tight clothing, so it would be first of all is immodest, one issue, and second one is what is it, following their ways, right? Or colors that they use, all these things. And the continuation was apologize. What did we say after carpet? Sorry. After Persian carpet. Oh, the decoration. So, yeah, garden. You see, with this garden, Japanese garden. So, actually, I have this beautiful garden in our, what is it, the botanical garden. Beautiful Japanese garden with all of the like over bridges with huge fishes, like with all of this. All of the buildings, it's nice, but one building is actually, as I understand, it's actually for idol worshiping. So if this thing like only bridges and stuff like that, like and their style, there is no problem. Style of the roof, there is no problem. But in that place, I don't know, like symbolic, like idol worshiping places, of course, it's not allowed, right? So if you want to style, there is no problem, but stay away from religion. So basically, the way I see it, you have to do a little research. If some attributes, whatever they use, they're connected somehow to their idol worship and religion. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Oh, what was else? I apologize. It was a garden. Then what? What was another example?
Yeah, it was carpet, decorations, ornaments, building one's garden into Japanese style, or having Victorian style jewelry.
Victorian style jewelry, again, Victorian. Thank you very much. So Victorian, if it's not idol worshiping, there is one sign. There is an Irish, what I know, like there is a leaf with with 3 leaves. So that's Irish style. I think it's some, I don't know what is it called, but it's actually some kind of their what it says from the days they were pagans, I think. So that's would be forbidden. But others, we have to do the research and make sure that there is no connection to their religion. Okay.
Rabbi.
You're welcome.
On this, one of our friends says, does this mean we are not allowed to visit botanical gardens which have idol figures around the garden, but is not specifically used to be worshipped at the time, like the idolatrous sculptures?
I mean, you can visit them, of course, which I no, not to tie your shoelaces in front of this statue, because it would be like you bowing, right, to the statue. So you just walk by, or don't visit that section, right? Of course, I mean, most likely the things were not created for worshiping, or some folklore or something. So that's would not be an issue. But if they were worshipped as gods, that would be the issue. Yes.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. Okay.
Next question, Torah. If due to lack of space, you need to stack your meat, dairy, and pot of utensils or plates, is this allowed?
One on top of the other, I would say yes. Why not? Just have some separation. I would say like cut some cardboard, right? Cardboard, like from cardboard box, and put like separation between them. You can put one on top of the other. There's no problem. They're clean, and you have separation. There's no problem.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question, Shalom Kodalah. Are we allowed to cook fish in a meat oven? What if it's not ben yoma? Similarly, are we allowed to cook fish in a non-ben yoma meat pot?
So that's very good question. So if cooking fish in non ben yoma, what was it, non ben yoma oven? Right. So one second. I think it would be. I would say it depends how the meat was cooked, if it was covered or not, right? So if it was uncovered, if it was uncovered, so if it was covered, there is no problem whatsoever. So let's take this off the table. That's easy. That's easy, right? If it was covered completely, sometimes they cook like in a bag, like roasting bag, right? It's not only for turkey. Somehow some people think that this roasting bag only for turkey or chicken. No, people do like vegetables there, like to preserve the taste. People do many things. So if it's covered like that or covered with aluminum foil, there is no problem. So you can do it even simultaneously if fish also covered. But if it was uncovered, I think if it's such a great need, so in oven you can use, but same pot you should not use. That's the thing. If both of them ben yama, meaning both of them were used on that day. Okay. You're welcome. So the main prohibition to eat meat and meat and fish together. So when you're cooking that utensil, for sure there is a problem. But after the fact, just so you know, like all of that. But after the fact, if somebody cooked it, like if it's going to be great monetary loss, I think we would allow him to eat it. Okay. What else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So the question of stacking the plates, says, can you use like a paper towel or cloth for the separation?
Okay, yeah, it can be used. I mean, what I said that this cardboard, in my mind, is more sturdy. So it's more like you put one on top of the other, and they're going to stay in a place. That's what I said. You're welcome.
Next question. Shalom Rav, is one allowed to have wind chimes?
Yeah, there is no.
Chimes,
Yeah, chimes. Yeah, There is no problem whatsoever. I mean, I would say if we're annoying the neighbors, that's what not be allowed. Like I was passing by in like somehow like a house when they have this thing and it's huge. It probably cost a lot of money, and it was so noisy. And when I walk in the morning, it's like before 6 a.m. So it's like 5:45 or so. Like there is only a few people on the street when I walk to my prayers, right? And it was the thing was just a few weeks ago. I don't know, maybe months ago. I don't remember. Like not too long ago. But it was so loud. So I just imagined to myself, like if it would be in the summer and people will have the windows open. So where we live, there is no like property, right? We're like all houses stick to like one next to another. So I live in row houses. Like there's no separation. All of the like. So my from the neighbor we have like the tiny rail. That's it. That's the whole separation. Right, so we have common walls, everything. So I mean, if I would put it on my porch, like all of the neighbors would hear. So it would be in this case when we are annoying to others. So it's it would not be allowed. I think it says a story of, I think it was Sam Sefer. He was very diligent in coming early, and one time he came late. Not like according to him, it was late. And students asked Rabbi, like, what happened? What happened? You okay? You sick? They did. He said, no, everything is good. So he said, when I left my house, I heard some noise. So I look up and I saw on a neighbor's roof, there was shingle, right? So like what was loose, and it was making like banging because of the wind, a lot of noise. So I climbed on top of the roof. Right? This and and I was holding it down so they can have a free sleep, like sleep for another few hours, right? So like because he was trying to preserve the neighbor's sleep. So that's amazing, right? And then I climbed down. So just learning from this story to have it. I mean, if nobody bothered, there's no problem. But if people like cannot sleep, that's absolutely forbidden. Right. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
I was wondering, usually, when one wants to buy this type of items that are related to some cultures, usually the stores that we get this from are, I don't know, perhaps the store owner has certain beliefs. Usually when we get into this place, the guys usually, like, I don't know, burning some incense inside or whatever he does. It's like a mixture of several different I don't know, idol worshiping cultures. Very interesting practices. So I was wondering, does this have any effect on the product we're buying?
No, it's a generic one. It's like it's in different cultures. It's nothing to do with anything. I'm unless it makes some kind of sound that related to either worshiping like jingle bells. I don't know. That would be the problem. But otherwise, no. It's I mean that's only that person. And if you buy a tiny one, I guess, right? I'm just thinking, if you tiny, it does not make too much noise, or you have like some kind of rubber band or something. You stick it together during the night, and you remember to do that. There is no problem, right? So you want to enjoy this during the day. So I'm not sure. I was walking by, like I stepped for 1 second just to look at it. So it was very pleasantly sound. Right, but if it's the whole day and windy, it's not non-stop. I think a person can go crazy. I think.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you very much. So I have a question about anger. So I read, I don't know if this is from Sefer Hasidim, that it says that when the person looks at the face of an angry person, he's going to be, first he's going to forgive his knowledge, his learning, and then it says that the person may or will be harmed by a demon that was created by the anger of this person that we looked at. I was wondering, what about the situations where we cannot avoid looking at the person's face? Say, for example, we have an angry boss or an angry landlord, so on. So what should we do? Is there a way to protect ourselves?
Yes, you have to start now, preparing now, literally. So we have to learn a technique how to look into on something and do not see it. Look through, like, and I was able to train myself to do that. And second thing that I train myself, I mean, of course, it needs more perfection, so I can hear and make myself not to hear. So somebody is speaking and there is information, so I make myself like the switch off my mind, so I would not hear what it says. Right? I mean, it's I'm not some kind of genius, but it's a required training. It's like a special concentration. So you look at somebody and you don't see them. So if they ask you like I don't know, 3 minutes later, right? So this woman, did she say makeup? I don't see. Did she say like what is it, lipstick? I don't remember. Did she have like a brown hair or white hair? I don't remember. Okay, so that's and this person would not lie. So, but it requires some training, right? So start now, like you see and you look past it. So your eyes this direction, but you don't see what's going on, and you hear some speech and you don't recognize one word. Maybe some separate words. I mean, I'm not on that level, but I was trained myself like. I would not get an idea. So some separate words, yes, but I would so I don't know how to say it, to unconcentrate my mind. So my mind would be like thinking about something else, and I would not hear what it says. So it's in my case, it's speech of the wicked people, right? So sometimes you're forced to stay there, like even in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So. Of course, I found the way out recently, but when I was like used to stuck in this situation, so I just make myself here, like and not hear one, like I would not get an idea what was said, just some separate words. But it requires training. But if I could do it, I don't have any special skills. I think everybody can do it. Okay.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, I have this question about moving to a new place, a new apartment or house. So, is it enough just to paint the walls in order to get rid of the bad energies, spirits, and the like? Even though when we knew what type of filthy activities were done in such a place. For example, my building, there was this apartment that I was sort of interested in taking, but I knew that the people living there before, the former tenants, they were a couple of homosexuals. So I thought, okay, if I take this apartment, would it be okay just to paint the walls, considering all the filth that was done inside there? So I was wondering.
I think yes, just wash everything very very carefully, but thoroughly. I mean, and yes, and paint the walls for sure. That's a minimum requirement, absolutely. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Check, see if I.
So just so you know, most of the apartments where people move in or like buying would be like that. So some like maybe not as bad as that one, but some in like bad activity was done. So apartment that I'm now in is actually was always occupied by Jews from the time it was built. It's very interesting. So we got it from original owners. I mean, the original owner passed away, but it's very interesting. So that's very rare, I think. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, there's a new question on the board. It says, Shalom Rav. Question about modesty. I wonder if nude, collar, long white dress is modest. They are not bright but are quite close to many people's skin tone. What if one is quite pale and the nude color of dress has a clear contrast with the skin?
Mm-hmm. So I think if it's not a tie, like it's a white, so there is no problem whatsoever. Color is not a problem. So the color is a problem. This nude color would be a problem, for example, for stockings, right? So if she wore stockings, that's don't recommend this kind of stocking because it's not clear she wears stockings or there is no stockings. But the dress, if it's like not like it's loose, there is no problem. And plus, it's covered the whole body. It's like nobody would think that she's walking without dress. So there is no problem. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, Princess, thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think that was the last question on the board.
Okay, last question number. So let's go. So on Thursday, we said that we're going to go into this book, whatever now. Okay, I think a second. What did we do last time? Unfortunately, I did not mark. Okay, so we said in sharing the donation for a dog. So how much time we have? So let's go into reverse order. That it will depend how much we need to cover each of them. So actually, we start with one that I gave some summary last time, right? Why did we give some summary? It was some kind of question asked. I would not remember, but okay. So it's on Parsha Beshalach, and it's on verse for Shmos 16:15, and topic interrupted Aliyah, and it says Moshe said to them. Moshe said to them. It is a bread that HaShem has given you to eat. Right? So this Parsha of Man. Oh yeah. Now remember, it was said about Parsha Haman. When can you read it? Okay. And we said, okay, so challenge. In a certain shul, there was a customary to auction aliyahs for the Torah reading. One man offered a large amount of money to be called for a fifth aliyah in Parsha Beshalach, which contains episode of manna. Okay, so in most of Ashkenazi aliyah they would not sell, shul they would not sell, but in Israel some Ashkenazi shul they do sell aliyahs. On all of the Sephardic shul that I went to, in all of them they sell. That's that's how they support the shul and community. There is no problem. Okay, so the higher bira takes an aliyah, and I mean if there are 200 people, let's say, or 100 people, and I want to be called, so I'm fine to pay money, right? So I don't want to depend on the favor of a gabbai, let's say. But in my shul, that's very different. So it doesn't matter how much you pay. Like they don't ask you for money, but they have choice whom to call. So if somebody not shomer Shabbos, then I'm going to get aliyah. Why? The gabbai decided so. Right, so it's very fair. But in this case, in case of Sephardi shul, anybody can get. The guy is with a cell phone sticking out of his pocket, right? And he's intermarried, right? And he's right, and he can get an aliyah, right? Because he pay money. That's I'm not. So they put themselves in very difficult situation. Okay, continue. Right, so this person paid for the bid like a substantial amount, large amount of money on the fifth aliyah Parshat Haman. Why? He was under the impression, rightly or wrongly, in parentheses, that receiving this aliyah is a sgula for livelihood, and was willing to pay for it, viewing the worthwhile investment, right? Right. So he said, "Look, I need good parnasa. So I'm going to pay this and this money, right? Because because HaShem after that would send me a business deal, or I don't know, a new job or 7 jobs, whatever." So that's how people think. Somebody asked me, "What is gula?" So the person asked, "My birthday is coming soon." I don't know if I said it, no. just recently, somebody. So what is gula? What psalm should I read? And this person left many commentaries. So I know like a few things about the person. So I said that the best gula, according to HaShem, right? According to HaShem, is actually to observe the Torah. So if you're going to observe the Torah, you're going to get all of the blessing. It's no better gula than that. Understand? So person say thank you, hopefully, and of course I explain. Like details about one laws of Shabbos, for example. It's a lady, I lighted the candles. We spent I don't know how many hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, I don't know, like many hours, like covering only the topic of lighting the candles. So somebody who never went through like these laws even once. Like, you kidding me? Like you're looking for sgulas? What psalm to read on your birthday? Stop it. Right, but Beezrat HaShem. Continue. So this guy thought that if he going to get called for this, and in parentheses like this, rightly or wrongly, we don't say, right? He thought that he's going to get good parnasa. He was then called up for Aliyah, but then Baal Koreh read only a few verses, and Gabbai motioned him to conclude the Aliyah, and then he called someone else for the episode of the manna. So the episode of the manna does not come in the beginning of the Aliyah. It's a little down the line. So technically, as we learn in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, right, minimum you must read three verses from the Torah for the Aliyah, and you must leave minimum 3 verses until the end of the paragraph. Okay, so basically, if it's in the middle of the paragraph, he stopped. There's no problem whatsoever. If he finished the idea, there is no problem whatsoever, right? And Gabbai said, "Okay, next one. Where's the problem? What happened?" asked the man. Right, so they called somebody else. What happened? Asked the man who had bought the Aliyah after davening. I bought the parsha of manna. Why did you call someone else up to it, right? So he said, I bought this parsha, I bought this Aliyah. Why do you give it to somebody else? I promised the money, right? And it's very interesting, right? So he said, I did this, you did not buy the parsha of the manna, and said, Gabba, you brought the 5th Aliyah. True, the 5th Aliyah usually includes the parasha of manna, but sometimes we must make divisions of the Torah reading to give aliyahs to more people. So which is may make sense. So sometimes there are extra guests, like in a shul, they have to honor this side and that side, as we said, the bar mitzvah, like our circumcision in the shuls, right? You have to, his father, your father, all of these grandfathers, brothers, sister, no, not sister, but all of these right, uncles, very important, rabbis. Okay, so you can add few aliyahs. Okay, so that's what exactly happened to the person. The man was upset. Since you did not give me aliyah that I bought, I would not honor my pledge. Right? So, like technically, if you like, he's right. So he was buying one thing, but he got something else, like shortened. So why should I pay? I paid this a lot of money, right? Because I thought it's gula for parnasa, right? I don't rely on HaShem. I rely on this aliyah. Very interesting. And look at this Gabbai. He said, we did give you the aliyah that you bought, right? Answer the Gabbai. We auction off 5th aliyah and which you receive, right? You bet for aliyah 5th. You check this. We sold you 5th aliyah. What is your problem, right? 5th aliyah meaning you're 5th person to be called to the Torah, right? That's what I mean. Just I did. How we meant to know that you wanted to parasha of manna, right? I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you have to pay your pledge as you promised. And that's Gabbai said. Look, how do we know? Like, if you would tell us that you want to stay till the end, we would split anotherly, maybe third, maybe fourth, I don't know, something. We will split. But you did not say how do you expect us to read your mind? Okay, that's amazing question, right? Like a difficult situation, I would say. Okay, so the logical question: who is right? And it says the shul usually subdivides the aliyahs in order to call more people to the Torah when the men had no reason to complain, right? So meaning if there is a celebration, and even if they most of the people called from not your shul, the guests of the Baal Simcha, there is no problem. I mean, everybody's in good mood. Okay, so it's going to take another 10 minutes. Okay, who cares? I mean, it's another who cares, but we can live with that, no problem. So we're not going to complain because for the Gabbai. I mean, if you add 5 aliyahs, that's the problem. But 2 or 3, I would say there is no problem. Okay, he should have realized that this could happen, and stated specifically that he wanted to buy parsha of Amana. Okay, so meaning he should have said like if he sees like extra people, right, and maybe he wouldn't have to understand that the new many people that they might call other people. It's not guaranteed that they might. So he could have told them. Yeah. Having failed to do so, meaning he did not tell them that I want to be called for Parsha Amana, he cannot blame the Gabbai and must pay the pledge as he had promised. Okay, he paid for 5th Aliyah. They call him now number 5. Okay, that's what it is. We cannot read your mind. However, if the shul usually only calls minimum 7 people to the Torah and normally does not subdivide the aliyahs, then the man rightfully assumes that the bidding of the parsha of the mana. Okay, so if they only usually, maybe there are shuls when they usually add the aliyahs, but I think Shulchan Aruch said don't do it. So 7 people unless something extraordinary. Okay. Right. So if there are usually only seven aliyahs, so now he could not realize for whatever reason. So okay, then he has a case. Since the Gabbai surprised him by dividing the 5th aliyah in half and giving the parasha of mana to someone else, perhaps the man is indeed exempt from paying pledge, right? So maybe like a second side of the story, maybe he had no reasons to suspect, right? Continue. Rabbi Zilberstein ruled that even so, since the auction of the aliyahs is essentially a sale, right? The sale is something, right? It follows the general rule of sales. Very interesting. The buyer cannot rely on a seller to read his thoughts. So that's actually from a Talmud. So a buyer cannot rely on a seller to read his thoughts. Right? The words of the Gemara says in Kiddushin 49b, the words of the heart are not words. So whatever you think in your heart, I do not know. So some people ask a question or leave comments and say, I'm not prophet. Please tell me what you mean. I have no idea. Therefore, there's a stipulation that was not explicitly spoken or obvious has no legal bearing, right? So meaning if just because I'm just adding, right? Just because somebody bought from me like an expensive suit, that maybe he expected me to wrap in this like this way and that way and put the bow with all of the ribbons, that's what he expected, but that's not what we do. So if he would want us to do that, yeah, he would tell us explicitly, right? It's a gift, stuff like that. Since the man did not explicitly say that he wanted to buy the parasha of mana, he must pay it for Aliyah as he has promised. Okay. So meaning what? Because we don't read somebody's mind. Okay. So any questions on what we said? No question? Okay. So maybe we do one more story. So I'm going in reverse. So I like this story very much. It's also Parasha Beshalach, and the topic is bracha over a dead animal, elephant. Okay, so it says Israel saw Egyptian dead on a seashore, and it's Shmos 14:30. The challenge. I think I don't remember. I think I gave preview of this one on that one. I don't remember which one. Okay, I think that one. So okay, so this one is okay. So it's a yeshiva student visited the zoo, where he saw elephant that the first time in his life. Even the elephant, we didn't. Okay, I think we did not do it. Daniel, can you tell me? Did we do it or not?
Rabbi?
Yes.
Yes, I think we did.
Okay, so
the one of the elephant already.
Okay, so we did this. I did not mark. Thank you very much. We did the animal, and did we do? About the nation, half of the nation. Did we do that or not? Well, for a Sefer Torah.
We did one from a dog.
Dog, yeah, but after that, I think since it's up one after another, I think we did it. Like it's half of the nation. So one said that I'm going to pay only half if you find somebody else to pay the another half.
I think we did not do that one.
Okay, so let's do it. So it's Parsha Beshalach. Half the nation for entire donation. Okay, so it's on Shmos 13:19, and it says if we did it, so just stop me. Moshe took the remains of Yosef with him. Okay, challenge. Representative of a new shul approached wealthy member of the community for a donation in order to purchase first Sefer Torah. Okay, he agreed to pay half of the expenses and asks for them to please find someone else to pay this other half. So even though he could pay for the whole, he decided, I'm going to pay only half. Okay. The Rabbi of the shul eventually found second donor who was willing to pay the other half on condition that his name alone would appear on the Torah cover as the sole donor of the Sefer Torah. So we have to understand some kind of chutzpah of this guy. So he gives he knows that he pays only half. There is no doubt. Nobody told him that that's the whole price. Only half. But his condition, only my name is going to be on Sefer Torah. It's like on a mantle. Right? Okay. The Rabbi went back to the first donor and he eagerly agreed. And the first guy said, absolutely, yeah, let only his name be there. Okay. So what does it mean? Continue. This is precisely why I ask you to find the second donor. Okay, I don't want the publicity. Free field to give him all the credit. He said, right? Nevertheless, okay. So meaning it's this first person is very generous. He's wants to be in the shadow, right? He does not care about the credit because credit is from HaShem. That's what it's for. But people like their name to be said. Okay. So nevertheless, the Rabbi hesitated to falsely give all of the credit to the second donor by making the misleading inscription on the very Torah that states that destiny itself from falsehood. Shmos 23:7. So if Rabbi would say that on the cover, right, that donated by such and such family, it would be false. So Torah says itself, distance itself from falsehood. And now, like on the same Torah, I put the sign that is donated by that family. It's not. It was a combination that donated only half, which is an amazing story. Solution. One verse states Moshe took the remains of Yosef with him when they left Egypt. Right, Shmos 13:19. while another verse states the remains of Yosef, which Bnei Israel carried out of Egypt, were buried in Shechem. It's from Yeshua at 24:32. The first verse credits Moshe with removing Yosef's body from Egypt. The second verse credits Bnei Israel. So as we know, like when all of the Jewish people were collecting the gold and silver and utensils and clothing from Egyptian, Moshe Rabbeinu alone went. This guy Mika followed him, right? He went to look for the bones of Yosef, right? And he said, Yosef, look, we're living in Egypt. You are with us. I mean, I'm not prophet. I mean, he's prophet, but I cannot see where are you. I'm not going to dive like in a Nile, and I have no idea where are you. So like bull rise, right? And the casket flowed on the top. Right, so and he's the one who took the bones out of Egypt, right? But then it says in Shmos, but in Yeshua, Sefer Yeshua, it says the remains of Yosef, which Bnei Israel carried from Egypt. Where's Moshe? Right? No Moshe, and they buried in Shechem, right? The Gemara Soda 13b explains that Moshe removed the Yosef's body from Egypt by Bnei Israel. Completed the mitzvah by burying Yosef's body in Eretz Israel. So of course Moshe died before crossing the Jordan, right? So and they continued the mitzvah, and from this Gemara concludes the one person begins the mitzvah and another person completes it. The entire mitzvah is accredited to the persons who completed. Gemara is very straightforward. Whoever completed the mitzvah, so half a mitzvah is not a mitzvah. Right, so you have to start and you have to complete, and same in a synagogue, right? So, for example, if somebody open Aron Kodesh, so when the Torah was given, so he has to open when the Torah is returned, and the same is all other things, right? You start and you finish. So it's very, very important to finish mitzvah. Otherwise, it would be credited to the person who finished it. And it's actually they use this approach. Just another example. For example, if people learn as a group, right? Some Sefer, Talmud, I don't know, whatever Sefer, and then they finish. So they want to do a siyum, like a celebration of ending this Sefer, and if somebody wants to join only for one class, last class, so he also, in some sense, get some credit, right? Like he finished also. He can be a part of celebration. Okay. Similarly, Rashi comments on the verse, Bezalel made Aaron, right? Aaron, not Aaron, Aaron, right? Shmos 37:1. That although other craftsmen helped Bezalel, right? I mean, he was like a master, but they also helped. He was credited as if he had made it alone, since he devoted himself to his labors more than many other craftsmen. So since he devoted more himself, so it says like he did it, even though we know there were many people helping. Okay. We can therefore conclude that if the second donor presumes that without his help the Sefer Torah would not have been completed. Okay, so I mean nobody else wanted to donate. Half of money is not enough, right? Nobody is going to do for half of money. So they needed his second half, and therefore devoted his resources to complete it, right? Then we can truly credit him as he had sponsored the whole thing, right? So in this case, so since we would not be able to do it without him, yes, we can credit him the second thing. Hashuki Hamet Baba Basra 172. Okay, so I think we can stop here. Okay, any questions on what we said? So somehow I'm marked, but we did not go. So maybe next time we're going to see the Arab father-in-law. So that's an interesting case. All right. So if no questions, any questions on this topic? Okay. So we stop here. So thank you very much for learning with us. We have completed a lot this week. Baruch HaShem, learned a lot on all of the subjects. Mussar, Halachah. So we have a beautiful split, 50-50. As the sages said, half of Mussar, half Halachah. Baruch HaShem. So I wish everybody good Shabbos until next week, and we're going to start at the same time. Thank you and good night.